for Real Solutions. I'm Tanya Ivins, and this is Canceling COVID. Thanks for joining us as we work together to build stronger families and communities in the middle of a global pandemic. We know that's happening right now. I am live on location again because I have an event that's with my nonprofit. We're giving away free food boxes in Cornelius, exit 28 Smithfield Park. So you're welcome to come and get those boxes. We had to unload 1,100 and we're down to about 250. So please hop in your car, 77 North, exit 28, Cornelius Lake Norman. And we've got free food boxes for you. And that's a result of what's been happening with the global pandemic as well. So if you notice across the bottom, we've got new sponsorship that's going to kick off. And we're so grateful for the Mecklenburg County Public Health. It's very important that you stay educated as we continue to educate you on the importance of controlling this pandemic. And we've been working really hard. We just have a little bit more work to do, folks. Well, thanks for joining us. And first up today, a significant milestone toward North Carolina's goal of stopping the spread of COVID-19 and bringing summer back. And we're all ready for that. 43% of the adult population is fully vaccinated, and more than 50% has received at least one dose. Unfortunately, those numbers are not as high in Mecklenburg County. So we've got more work to do. 31% is fully vaccinated and 41% has received just one shot. Now, of course, we can do this, folks. All we have to do now is just start appealing to those people who haven't quite got their shot now and have the conversation on why haven't they received it. Right now, Mecklenburg County health leaders say local vaccination efforts will now focus on how many COVID-19 shots are given and not solely on the concept of herd immunity. And we had that conversation Wednesday, which was very enlightening and along those lines. And of course, this brings us to the question of the day. The question of the day: are you worried the slower vaccination rate will impact President Biden's promise to reopen by July? Yeah, the question of the day is very relevant because the goal is to reopen by July 4th, which is the country's Independence Day. So are you concerned that the rate that we're going at right now, because the vaccination rate has slowed down, do you think we'll achieve that goal? Well, please hop in the chat and share your comments. I love it. I see you hopping on. I appreciate you joining us every week, but I need you to talk to me as well. So please hop on and share your comments. My loyal, faithful sister, she already said yes. She is concerned that because of the slower vaccination rate, that it's going to impact President Biden's numbers. By the way, I'm at her house. I'll be doing this for the month of May. So it's great when you have that type of support where we can just hop on and just keep everything moving. But we're going to go ahead and keep it moving, talking to our first guest. When we say real talk for real people, my first guest, well, she is one of the realest. Is that a word? Well, she's real. All right. Pamela Blair has an incredible COVID survivor story. And I want to bring her in and talk to her because she is also a great person that works very hard in community. She's a believer. And, you know, a lot of people, especially coming off of Wednesday where we had the Nation of Islam on, when we start about the spiritual connection and just kind of talk about, you know, whether this is the right thing to do or not. Pamela, you know, your story is unique because in the beginning, you know, kind of tell us you had COVID. So tell us what it was like when you had it.
At first, I didn't know thank you first of all, thank you for having me, Tanya. God bless you. You know, I say you're the hardest working woman in radio. So I appreciate you. I appreciate everything
I
you do.
appreciate you.
And so, but yeah, I had COVID in January, didn't know I had it. And the only thing that I had as a symptom was my stomach started to hurt. And I was just tired that day. I went the night before, went to sleep that night and had a bowl of cereal. So I thought it was maybe the cereal that wasn't agreeing with me.
Right,
And
right.
and so I just thought when I got up that morning, everything was fine. I was going to go to work, and I was like, "Oh no, this is something else." And so I got into bed and went to sleep, and I was just out of it all day, just sleep that whole day.
Oh,
And so, and that was the only thing I had, just a stomach ache and no energy. And I said,
so
"Well, I
did
got." Uh-huh.
no, I was going to ask anybody else in your family, did they get COVID?
Nobody in my household, none of my children, my grandchildren had it at that time when I
Wow.
found out I had it. And so, so the next day, the Wednesday, I slept all day. Thursday, I went and got checked. And by Saturday morning, I got an email that said I was positive for COVID. And so I quarantined myself and everything, but I was fine. The only thing I had was the stomach that morning, and the rest of the time it was just my energy, lack of energy. I was, even though I was quarantined from everybody, I was still exercising when I had the energy, I would
Yeah.
still make myself get up and do. I didn't want to just sit around.
Right.
So I was, thank God for the minimum of symptoms that I had. And
Yes.
so, yeah, so that changed my mind. That changed my mind.
And
At
that was
first,
going to lead to my next question is how did that impact your decision to get the
yeah,
vaccine? So were
yeah.
you originally kind of on the fence or you weren't
Oh,
going
yeah.
to do it?
Oh, I was absolutely on the fence. And you know what they
Okay.
say about being on the fence. You
Right.
can't, So I was like, I am not taking it. They can have it. I will stand in the back of the line. And as a matter of fact, take me out of the line because I'm not
Wow.
doing it. I was adamant. I'm not doing it. I said, I don't know what they have in this stuff. But I
Uh-huh.
started, listening to other people. There's another TV radio host that I listened to, Gregory Griffin. He's adamant about people getting the shot. Talking about the death rates of, people just dying. They're still dying. Get vaccinated, protect yourself. And I was thinking, I said, God, my thought was, God, you are my protection. I trust you. I'm leaning on Psalm 91. I'm leaning on 23rd. So I'm leaning on all. I'm trusting God, but I also trust God to take my blood pressure medicine too.
Yeah.
And so,
So, and we all have to try to stay healthy. So now
yeah.
everyone's experience is different, Pam, with the COVID
Mhm.
19 vaccine. Now, which one did you get and what were the side effects like for you?
I just took Moderna on the 21st of April. And my arm was sore. I woke up with my arm sore and I was fine. Everything else was fine. I went to work, but about 11:30, it hit
Ooh.
me. It hit me.
Oh,
Felt like I had the flu. I couldn't wait to get home. I was cold. I couldn't wait to get home and get into bed. And
uh,
then it was in the middle of the night. I got better. Same thing. I went to work the next day, fine. And about 11:30, I'm like, is this in my head or is this in my
yeah.
body?
You think your mind's playing tricks on you, huh?
Yeah, so I was kind of out of it again. I had a headache, my arm was sore, and I just had no energy. And I just knew it was my body fighting against what the vaccine was doing. Because
Yeah.
I took the antibody test too. So after I had the virus, I checked for antibodies. I had myself checked, and I did have antibodies. So I'm thinking the antibodies is working against what the vaccine is doing. So I'm
So
guessing
maybe on a collision course.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So now have you gotten your second one or you're scheduled to go get your second one?
Scheduled for the next one on the 19th,
Okay.
and
Good,
so
good deal.
yeah, but I'm gonna have to push it back. I'm gonna take it. I'm not
Uh-huh.
gonna take it. My son is getting married on the 21st, so I
Oh,
so I don't want those two to collide.
right.
Yeah. So I want to be well when I go down to his wedding on the 21st. So then I'll come back home and definitely get back in line to take my second vaccine.
Well, congratulations to you. And speaking of lines, there's not many lines right now, folks. So if you're looking to get vaccinated, all you have to do is just show up. It's walk-ins now because there's more supply than there is the demand. So now that more states are reopening, and people are anxious to get out, what warning do you have, or what would you say to people concerning getting vaccinated?
Take the vaccine. That's the best thing we could do to protect each other and to try to get this thing under control. Like I said, I
Right.
wasn't, but we have to do something to bring this thing under control. And I think the vaccine is the best way to go about it. We're not going to get the herd immunity and all that stuff. People say, I'm not going to take it. I'm just going to wait. No, we need to protect ourselves and protect our loved ones.
Right, right. Well,
Yeah.
I appreciate you sharing that bit of advice, and that's the message that we're trying to get out to everyone: is get educated, find out, and yeah, and this is something that there's no blueprint. That obviously trying to restructure and write the plan as it goes, and I'm glad to see the county saying, okay. Herd immunity. We're not going to get there, but this is what we're going to do. I see Anna Louise Pryor Gates has hopped on. Good afternoon. Thank you for hopping on as well. I know you have a family emergency, so I really appreciate you hopping on. Perhaps you can chime in on the question of the day. I want to give Pam an opportunity to do it as well. Pam, I can't see your hair. If you could back up a little bit from the camera,
Okay.
you look at there. You go. Absolutely gorgeous. Now I can see all of you. So let me ask you: are you worried about with the slower amount of people getting vaccinated? Are you concerned that we're not going to get to that goal that President Biden, set for July 4th? Do you think, he promised to reopen the country by then? Are you concerned we might not get there?
Oh, we're definitely not going to get there because people's minds are made up that you know I'm gonna do it or I'm not gonna do it. And with the opening up, you know what happened at spring break? People were
Yeah.
all over the place, unmasked and everything. You still have to take these precautions that we started out in the beginning of the year. You still have to distance yourself and mask and hand sanitize, all of that. Keep your hands from your face. We still have to do those things.
Right.
Bring this thing under control.
Well,
So
I appreciate you sharing that wisdom and hopping on with us. And I'm so grateful for you. You've been a very loyal supporter and encourager. And so I thought your story was great to share, especially with those that are still sitting there trying to figure it out. We really want to move the needle so we can all get back to the new norm, is what we like to say. Is there anything else you'd like to say in closing, like any comments to close out?
for those that are on the fence, get off the fence and take the vaccine. Yes, we trust God, but God says faith without works is dead. So you got to put the work in too.
Amen, sis. Pam Blair, thank you. You did an awesome job. I appreciate you, Miss Pamela, and thank you so much for taking
Thank,
the time to share your story. I appreciate you
thank you,
hopping
Tom.
on. All right. Enjoy